Hi everyone, yeah, I just wanted to talk about sort of what's going on now. So, as you said before, I don't really watch TV much anymore. But because yesterday it was the I'm a Celebrity final, and I think Jill Scott won it. She used to play for England women's team. So I thought I'd talk about the World Cup a little bit, because obviously the World Cup's on now, and it's sort of, maybe think about it a bit more. And like I said, with the Qatar and stuff, it's had a lot of, it's interesting because people have said, the World Cup's been a bit controversial of holding it in the winter time, not the summertime, and obviously there's human rights issues and stuff. On World Cup's been treated a certain way, and also women are not allowed to drive and stuff. And I think it's the interesting, what people's perspective is on it. Because I think even the England players came out and they weren't like one of armbands. So I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting how the World Cup has sort of become this, and how it's sort of it's almost become controversial, because like I said before, football's meant to be an antidote. You're meant to look at football and see it as something against conflict. It's meant to be helping conflict out. It's meant to be helping out barriers. It's meant to be dissolving them. Anyone can play football, black, white, people, whatever. So like I said, it's meant to be helping dissolve those barriers. But interestingly enough, there's only one black Premier League manager in the Premier League. That's I can't remember what his name is now, the Crystal Palace manager. I think it's something you've got to look at. I think it's something that, the way society is in the moment. Sometimes, in other parts of the world, they don't agree with it. In other parts of the world, they eat cats and dogs. In other parts of the world, women are not allowed to drive, and homophobia is illegal, and which is quite a strong thing. But other parts of the world, you've got to take some stuff like this seriously. You've got to realise that the way we've got it in England is actually really good. We're fighting against discrimination. There's a Black Lives Matter movement, the LGBTQ movement, even veganism. It's almost too easy to be vegan nowadays. I've never had to give anything up. I know there's not one time. I mean, I had that little bit of a mishap in last month, but apart from that, I haven't. Not once have I ever had a salad for dinner. I've never had that. I've always had stuff I'm used to. So in that respect, I haven't given anything up really for a year. So but no, I think it's interesting. Like I said, but is there more of an obligation to fight against discrimination now that we know better? Now that you can see what others happening in the world. And I feel like it takes something to really open people's eyes up. It takes something like what's happening in the World Cup now to really open people's eyes up about what's going on in the world. Like if this wasn't happening in Qatar, people wouldn't have been so aware of it. But like I said, people might now be sort of thinking, wait a minute, this isn't okay. Perhaps if they were eating cats and dogs in Qatar, then that might open their eyes up to it. What we're doing here, we just eat a different sort of animal. We're eating pigs, cows and chickens. So I just think perspective is the key thing. I think it's really important. And another thing I wanted to cut into in terms of perspective is, it's sort of big news, because I'm talking about football now. I wanted to mention also Ronaldo. I don't want to mention this too much. I don't like talking about specific celebrities like this, but I've got to mention Cristiano Ronaldo. He's left Man United now, and I don't know. He came out saying he was being bullied by Erik ten Hag and everything. People were looking down on him and stuff, and they were trying to kick him out of the club and not putting him on and stuff. I think it was a little bit babyish. Let's be honest. He did the interview just because he wanted to leave, and also he gets paid all that money a week. It's not like he's unlucky, and I think he's the most followed person on social media or Instagram or something. But yeah. He hinted that he wants to buy the club, I don't know. But when I'm talking about this, I wanted to mention, the battle between Ronaldo and Messi. It's a World Cup, neither of them are World Cup. There's a huge thing. I used to be a Messi fan, so I always likened him to me. I always thought Messi was I'm 5'5". Obviously, I thought I was 5'7". I only recently realised I'm 5'5" because whatever. But I've likened myself to Messi because of my height wise, and also sort of looks wise, and also his sort of his family and stuff. Just a regular nuclear family, I think. But with Ronaldo, I always seen him as slightly taller, slightly lanky, and that's the thing. You might think I spot Man United, which I do, but he left in 2009. I wasn't really following Man United that much. I was only 13 in 2009, so you got to realise that Ronaldo is about 10 years older than me. It's 11 years older than me. Ronaldo's 11 years older than me, so you got to realise that we're just a little bit outside of that. But no, I've always liked Messi. I've always liked Messi because Ronaldo, he had this thing with his previous wife or something. Where he had his kid or something, and then he I don't want to talk much about it, but basically he paid a woman, this waitress I think, who was in Spain or something, about £1 million or something, loads of money, just so she could keep quiet, so she could never see Ronaldo Jr., who's 12 years old now, born in 2010, just so she would never see her son again. He paid this woman off £1 million or something. I just think that's incredibly distasteful that there's a woman out there who is the biological mother of Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., and she's not allowed to. That's why I looked at Ronaldo and thought, I can't have that. So his family setup's all wrong. He's paying a woman off so she can never see her son again. I thought it made me feel physically sick. I just can't, that's why I went off Ronaldo. But to be honest, I've sort of gone back into liking Ronaldo. I don't know, but whatever. I don't want to talk about too much about it. But yeah, I initially like Messi, now I like Ronaldo. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. But whatever. But yeah, I think it's the World Cup, and I think hopefully England do well. We're playing Wales tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I might do another reaction to it. So yeah, let's see what happens.